ladies and gentlemen. A while ago, I did a few videos and I was telling y'all about how when immigrants come to this country, they pretty much try to radicalize them against us. And many of our people always known, even when I was a child, many of us always knew like immigrants would kind of be wary of us or stay away from us. And there was a reason why. Now, I didn't learn about that reason until I worked with a woman that was an immigrant from Iran. And she and I sat together on a job I had back when I was really young. And at first, she was kind of quiet and she didn't really talk much. And then, but as the weeks went on, she started opening up, and we sometimes had some of the best conversations just sitting and working together. Well, one day we were sitting and we were having lunch and sitting next to each other and talking during our lunch. And she said to me, "Nothing I learned about Black people is true." And I said, "Well, what did you learn?" And that's when she told me. She said she went to naturalization class to become a citizen of the US. And while she was in naturalization class, they told her, the teacher told her to stay away from Black Americans. It was okay for her to interact with anyone else except us. And she said they just said all the stereotypes. We were criminals, we were drug addicts, we had, and then you don't want them latching on to you, and then you're going to have all kinds of problems because just stereotypical things. And you would think as time went on that some of these people would think for themselves, but actually they don't. They still fall for the stereotypes, and they still do that, ladies and gentlemen, to this very day. Now, some of these immigrants already have um, some type of predisposition about us before they get here because of all the negativity uh, that is spread through the media here in America. And they watch a lot of American media and shows and movies. And America has never showed us in a good light, even in movies and even in shows. So some of them come and they already believe what they have seen on TV. Well, they're still told this stuff. So this woman right here, I want you to hear what she said. Now, years later, I met also an African from Sierra Leone, and we became really good, close friends. Um, and again, in the beginning, was kind of slow, but the difference between the Iranian woman and the person from Sierra Leone was they faced racism because although they were African, they still face a lot of the discriminations here. And they told me the same thing. They had a Caucasian teacher that was their naturalization teacher and told them that you don't want to deal with us. Stay away from us. Stay away. They're the problem. Told them we were the problem here in America, right? None of that has gone away. These immigrants are still being told this stuff when they enter the country or they become naturalized citizens. So I'm going to play this and I want you to hear what this woman have to say on how they have tainted virtually everybody against us.
Can I just say how much I appreciate all of you Black men out there supporting Black women? Because one of the first stereotypes when I moved to the United States, I moved to Brooklyn, Flatbush. One of the very first stereotypes a white person told me about racism in America is that actually the biggest enemy for black women are black men because they all hate black women. And I can't speak for all your all's community, and I will never dare to pretend that I know what it's like to be a black woman in the United States. But there are so many harmful stereotypes about black men that just ain't true. Also, on a side note, something else that same person told me is that the reason Latinos and black people are more oftentimes incarcerated in the United States is because they're actually too lazy to work and they just don't work as hard as white people do. And still now, that was almost 10 years ago. It blows my absolute fucking mind that someone who considers themselves liberal, Democrat, a progressive thinker, didn't just have all of these views, but felt comfortable enough telling me as a Mexican immigrant. But that's how comfortable a lot of white people are with their everyday racism and stereotypes and problematic statement, where they say things where it's like, it's not racist, it's just a matter of fact. So, newsflash, no, it's fucking racist. Okay, I went rogue again on what I actually wanted to say. I came here to say I always love it when I see Latino and black men stand up and celebrate their women because that's what we need more of.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that, right? So, when immigrants come here, they immediately work on them to make sure they never like people from the black community. And this is how it's done. So, it's not only done in naturalization classes. Now, y'all remember, this is your government that is involved in these naturalization classes. And those teachers represent this government. And then you got the citizens that will talk and communicate with them to ensure they don't have any interaction with the black community. So you heard she said it was a white person that told her all of these stereotypes. You see how they immediately work on these immigrants? This is how it's done. And we know everybody on the planet seems to have a problem with us. Even the ones that never had any encounter with us got a problem with us. Now you know where all of that disdain for us is coming from. It is being spoon fed to these people of different nations, whether they're on this soil or not. And even the ones that are not on the soil feel a certain way about us because of what the media, which is the most racist apparatus they have in America, has spoon fed shows and movies over in these foreign lands that have constantly put us in a negative light. So, yeah, I mean, I think if I was a foreigner and I kept seeing the same consistent negative thing about a group of people, I probably would be more inclined to stay away from you too, not knowing any better. But some of these immigrants do get to know us. And the ones that do get to know us, their attitudes towards us start changing. That's what happened with the Iranian and the African that I interacted with on jobs. Their whole attitude changed. It was like, well, nothing I was told is even true about y'all. This is crazy. And, hey, and I told them, I said, look, they can tell you anything they want about us, but really, it's up to you to use your own mind and your own common sense at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what they sit in your face and say. What are you going to do? Are you going to just sit there and believe it? Or you're going to try to learn for yourself whether these things are true or not? Now, in the two instances that I told you, Those folks got to know Black people, but they all don't do that. We already know that. They all don't. But this gives you a chance to see how above and beyond this country has gone to keep the entire world hating us. And this gives you clear insight of who this is coming from. But I'm sure we all know this, but it's always good to hear it from the horse's mouth. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.